Stay in the know with a look at tonight's other top stories.
A helicopter crashes into New York's Hudson River. The pilot was trying to reposition the chopper, but he missed the landing area. The pilot was the only person on board, and he was not seriously hurt.
2 students accused of shooting classmates at a Colorado STEM school have been charged with multiple counts of murder. The 18 and 16-year-olds are accused of shooting 8 people and killing Kendra Castillo, who tried to save other students. Friends and family held a memorial for the student hailed as a hero.
Disturbing video out of Las Vegas shows a woman shoving an elderly man off a city bus after he asked her to be nice. He later died from his injuries. Investigators say he spoke up after Kadisha Bishop yelled and cursed at other passengers.
President Trump has signed an executive order banning the purchase or use of technology that poses a national security risk. It did not specifically mention any countries or companies, but we do know it would affect the Chinese telecommunications company Huawei. The U.S. government worries technology developed by Huawei could be used by the Chinese government to spy.
New York City Mayor Bill DeBlasio is getting ready to throw his hat into the 2020 ring. He's expected to announce his White House bid on Thursday. He would join more than 20 other Democratic hopefuls.